is pedal to the metal, go, 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 and immediately Piotr Stachulec off the line now, getting attacked by Primož Miklavčič, who now tries to hunt him, heading into Tamburello. It's Alpine and Ferrari, the Alpine spin to the front, Stachulec's off as well, Seeds heading around Tamburello, absolutely incredible. Stachulec moving back up the field. Remember, he was at the very back. Primož Miklavčič now at the back. Here comes Stachulec, rising up through the field now and has gained 3 places in a single lap. He's overtaken Haddad.
Speak about it, Samuel Alpine. He started the race from the 17th position and now he is up to 8th. With the soft tire, he overtook everyone on the mediums and it's pretty hard on this track. Meanwhile, Stachulec making another move stick.
5 laps accrued on the softs, he's going straight onto the mediums. And here comes Kedon now and takes the lead here at Tamburello. And to maybe strike here on Kedon Lutt dragging himself over to the stand side, the paddock side. Here comes now Akinci. Bean making a move himself into Tamburello. This time on Kedon Lutt, who could be in the frame to lose another place. Oh, dearie me! Is going to be a huge setback to his winning hopes. And certainly now the pressure's on because this could be the move for the win here.
Akinci will win.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Akinci wins the first race here, this time at Imola, here in the FuturEsportS FES League. Extraordinary results, certainly the same. And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go. We're away for race 2 here of event 1 here at Portimao, and Primož Miklavčič not wasting any time, he leads the way to turn 1. Lap long, wheel to wheel now, heading down the final corner and still trying to hold up, but look at this, it's Szabó-Kónyi looking to make it a 3-wide affair as they head down the straight. There's Zsolt and Baena alongside of his Szabó-Kónyi coming in to join them. It's 3 wide into turn 1, 3 into 1, don't go, surely not. 3 of them still together wheel to wheel as they head around turn 2, in towards turn 3. It is still his Szabó-Kónyi, oh my word, oh my dearie me, it is Jeffrey Ritchie off the track, and I believe his Szabó-Kónyi's off as well. They're back on, immediately on a busy road. Dad back on the throttle, feathers it slightly, and you can just see him there, wheel to wheel now with the AlphaTauri. The pair of them together, and Dad going for a very deep dive on the outside. That is a brilliant move from Daniele and Dad in the Aston Martin. Heading through turn 1, as we now see Jeffrey Ritchie now just crawling the car through, sends it up the inside now. Look at the tap on the rear wheel, it's getting so close between all of these guys now. Can Jeffrey Ritchie make a move? Heading into Toro Vip, he could very well leave a late break. He swerves, takes the outside, sold the dummy to Kedon Lutt. Heading now into Toro Vip, still wheel to wheel. Off the track now does the Mercedes as they now climb up the incline. Heading through the next left, into a double right now. The Mercedes is on top, but here comes Kedon Lutt. Has he got enough in the tank? No, Jeffrey Ritchie, what a move, incredible move. That is something we love to see. Ferrari now trying to tuck it on the inside, scoops it through the next right, up the incline now, and certainly it's superb. It's Piotr Stachulec, who of course was absolutely sensational in qualifying in Imola. Still wheel to wheel here with Norbert Jakob, who's taking him all the way here in this lap 10 of 17. But it is Stachulec. Stachulec makes the move and moves up to P8.
He's in 0.2 of a second compared to Kristóf, and now he is using his last bit of energy. Kristóf is out of battery as well. Haddad chooses the outside line. I'm not sure if he tries to keep it there or tries to switch back. He fancies keeping it there. Maybe he makes a dummy, or maybe he just sticks to his original plan. Around the outside he goes. He receives a penalty. I'm not sure if it will be removed because he got a bit of a wide push, but eventually he overtakes Kristóf. It was a race-long challenge and he makes it stick, and for me it was an amazing move, and I don't like the game for giving him a penalty because this was hard battle and he went off track, but he needed to avoid the collision. Great performance with the controller, so well done to him. But now Miklavčič is through the final turn and he crosses the line.
He does, he takes victory here at Portimao under the wet weather conditions, and does so with such great, superb style as well. Louis Welch into second place. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Future Esports. For the FES League, we are back again for Event 2, and we have got two fantastic tracks to bring you tonight. Obviously, it's all starting off at Austria, then we're heading to Silverstone for Event 2 in the series, as I just said. We came off the back of a very eventful Event 1, with Danny Beresde joining me at that time. He is sitting in the car tonight. Tonight, I've got a different face in the commentary box. Along with me, I am, of course, George Morgan, your commentator from last time out as well. But today, we have got a new face to the commentary team. It is Joshua Davis. Joshua, welcome to the broadcast booth.
Yeah, thank you, George. Welcome as well. Really excited. Tonight's race is going to be an absolute cracker. Two of my favourite tracks tonight to commentate over, and I'm sure it's the same for some of the drivers out there. An absolutely incredible grid we have in front of us tonight. Just looking at my notes with Danny Beresde, as you said, hopping in the car today for McLaren team. He is with the McLaren Shadow Esports team, as he is in the real life of virtual sim race. It's an absolutely fantastic two races we have tonight, and absolutely can't wait to get started.
You know, it's going to be very, very special. There you can see the grid right next to us there, folks. We've got Louis Welch, Jeffrey Ritchie in the Mercedes, Ben Szabó-Kónyi alongside Akinci in Red Bull, Danny Beresde, of course, who joined me in the commentary box last time out, where we went to Imola and Portimao. He sides alongside Kedon Lutt in the McLaren. Zsolt Bial in the Ferrari with Piotr Stachulec, as well as Martin Ido and Tomek Primož in the Alpine. Samuel Bean lines up with Primož Miklavčič, pretty much the star from last time out. Incredible results, probably one of the most successful drivers out on track. Doesn't quite say it though in the championship standings, but he partners up Samuel Bean and Aston Martin. Kristóf Szelle as well, a very prominent figure, lines up alongside Norbert Jakob at the AlphaTauri team. Milan Meyer and Zoltan Boda side up in Alfa Romeo, with Ulas Ozyildirim on his own in the Williams, with Istvan Pukki and Istvan Nagy joining together in Haas. We've got a very, very tremendous lineup, folks, as you can see. I hope you guys are all keeping well at home as well. Wherever you're watching us from, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, make sure you follow us on Twitch here at Future Esports, or come and subscribe to us at Future Esports on YouTube as well. Everyone is more than welcome. Let's take a look at the calendar, of course. Today, we are at Austria. The first race of Event 2 is Austria at Spielberg. Of course, short qualifying is standard for the first event. Then coming in towards the second race, we will then have one-shot qualifying. That will, of course, be at Silverstone, folks. Now, we're just going to be taking a look very, very shortly at qualifying when we do arrive into it. But first of all, Josh, this, of course, being your first race here today, let's take a look at those all-important standings. Akinci leads the way, 39 points to his name at the top of the table, with Primož Miklavčič, who, of course, he himself, absolutely tenacious. He's the only man to qualify on the front row more than once in our first two races. That's an exceptional stat, certainly, and just goes to show his pace and consistency. However, Akinci was there to actually, well, pulling out the bag in both races, winning at Imola, and then following it up, obviously, with no particular top result at Portimao, but nevertheless, he was in the fight. But Primož Miklavčič looks like a real sturdy competitor.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the dominate race at Portugal. An absolutely fantastic race it was. I think he won by about 3.5 seconds over the line. It was just an absolutely dominant display, and shows why he's one of the top talents on PC right now, and it shows in the Challengers standings. But it's unfortunate, last time out he got on the front row at Imola in qualifying, but had that incident, I believe, with Piotr Stachulec and Ulas Ozyildirim. It wasn't towards one, and it's just a passenger, and with Piotr just spanned off the curb, I think it was, which was just so unfortunate for his race, but it affected his well. But bounce back, Portugal, just what you have to do, bounce back ability is what he needs to do, and obviously looking P2 is not too shabby at all, and definitely could be a champion decider with this one. But obviously Akinci, definitely one of the ones to watch. Got the win on penalties in Imola with fresh rears getting on track on the display as well. Just unfortunate the way how his penalties work. He got 6 seconds across the line. Kristóf in P2 doing well as well. But the penalty did foul Akinci that time, but it was a very good race nevertheless, and hopefully we can see more of the same racing this time around.
Yeah, 100%. There's Norbert Jakob now, who's now making his way around Schlossgold. Of course, Austria itself, a very, very short track, 10 corners is all that makes up this particular circuit, and in itself, 2.683 miles, 4.318 kilometers, a capacity of 40,000 people come to this circuit to watch the racing here, and of course, only 3 drivers currently share a total race tally of 3 wins apiece at the very top end here in Austria. Joseph Ayer from back in 1968, 69 and 71 claimed 3 wins here. He's a Swiss driver. Then of course Alain Prost did it in 1983, 1985 and 1986 with Max Verstappen, the modern era, to join those two with a win in 2018, 2019 and 2021. Those are the 3 most successful winners at Austria here at Spielberg. Of course, formerly known as the Österreich Ring originally, now since had a name change. It went to the A1 Ring, of course, back in 1996, running through to 2003, but since 2011 has held the name the Red Bull Ring, and ever since then has dominated, certainly has given us so many excellent races in its history, certainly in the modern hybrid era, and now we get to watch the esports guys do it as well, heading around this track. There is Norbert Jakob making his way through, plenty of drivers now making their way out to start their hot laps, and this man is certainly one of them, Kristóf Szelle in the AlphaTauri, and he can certainly make a play as he just loses the front of the car there, heading around turn 1.
Yeah, very important. Turn 1, absolutely definitely does the fine with qualifying lap time. Primož there, getting position there, 3.45, sorry, a brilliant bank time from McLaren Shadow, a driver in the Alpine tonight. Stay on board. Kristóf as he comes towards turn 3 now, around the 50-meter board into a long right-hander, up towards 4th, the traction, going it in 5th, through towards 6th, come in towards next 2 lefts at the Worth curve of 5 into 4 of Lutt, into 5 of Worth now through towards the 5th gear action, up towards the 6th, up to Uzyildirim, 3.96, absolutely fantastic as well goes P1 with that time. We board with Szelle, Kristóf comes towards final sector now, flowing right. Again in towards the final, but careful, good 2-1, we'll get this and that next lap time. Szelle, Kristóf across the line, good people, just jumps ahead of Louis Welch, on power with that 3.626 for Lutt, but a 3.45 first, that's a brilliant lap time, nevertheless.
Yeah, no one able to currently unseat Ulas Ozyildirim, who currently holds a 103.296. More cars coming across the line as well, including that of Norbert Jakob, who makes his way into the pit lane. We've got plenty of cars actually out on track, nearly all of them, but they're all coming in after their first runs. Jeffrey Miklavčič is another man who has yet to nail a fast time. Unfortunately, I believe invalidating on his outlap on his previous one, but plenty of big names out there looking to make a really, really good impression. We've actually got a bit of a time happening in Sector 3. I think Akinci is out on a fast run as well, makes his way through into Sector 3. He's got one more coin in the bail. No, he comes into the pit lane, not happy with the lap time at all. And many others, I think, are going to be bailing into the pit lane as well. They can see them one after the other heading into that pit lane. And I think we've got a car off at the top as well. That's Jeffrey Ritchie going slowly down through towards Schlossgold. And we saw the yellow flags raised at the top of Remus. And that, of course, cost him his hot lap. We've got another man out to the bout, none other than Danny Beresnay, our special guest for today in the McLaren, of course, in the commentary box with me in our last event 2 weeks ago. And I've got to say, he was an absolute pro when it came to knowledge of a driver, certainly as a commentator, provided us with, well, a lot of insightful information heading into the 2 races that we did cover. But let's ride on board now with Danny Beresnay as he makes his way through and it bottoms down the home stretch now to commence his flying lap. He'll make his way up towards turn 1, the Niki Lauda curve, and as he does so, just breaks in between the 100, just before the 50, in fact, as he now heads his way up through the long, sloping straight. This is the high elevation part of the circuit. You're going to find yourself swooping upwards, and as soon as you break into Remus at turn 3 at 315 miles per hour, braking suddenly in 3rd gear, coming around this next right, opens up the DRS now, down through the back straight. You'll reach speeds of up to 330 miles per hour heading in towards Schlossgold at turn 4. Takes a lot of the curb on the left-hand side, cuts through to give himself the best access coming out of turn 4 in towards turn 5. He'll then make his way towards the Roche bend, That's at turn 6. Again, hanging onto the throttle, just feathering it for grip, twisting the wheel as well into first at turn 7. Holds them onto the power in 6th gear, makes his way down through towards the ring curve. Underneath the Emirates banner, you can see green flags. He will not be deterred as he hits ring curve now. And again, this looks quick from Beresne. Down through the final corner at Red Bull Mobile, past the paddock, across the line. P1 he gets, a 103.250. That's not bad with 11 minutes to go, Josh.
That was absolutely mad to watch from Beresne taking pole position by just over half a tenth of a second to Ulas and Ozyildirim in P2. A fantastic lap from a fantastic driver of Beresne, and now we can try and get to see how fast he can go in his second couple of runs as well. And that is just a fantastic lap time from him. I believe Tomasz Radzic, it was on a lap but invalidated in towards the sun. I believe that's why he slowly puts a start deck about 2 tenths up in the Ferrari cars. Very wide there, and that glitch. Oh, my apologies. Through the final and across the line for Stachulec. Across the line he goes. Pole position 3.91. That wasn't magic from Danny Beresne. It's magical from Stachulec. Pole position by 2 tenths of a second. Wow, was that quick?
He was absolutely brilliant, certainly from Piotr Stachulec, who was one of the star performers from last time out as well. Couldn't quite get it off the board though. He had a lot of bad luck. If you remember, he started on pole last time out when we went to Imola, but got it all wrong heading in towards the first corner, certainly heading in towards Tamburello, and that cost him a lot of time indeed. He ended up going to the back of the field, and his chances of getting a victory in our first event was unfortunately put to rest. But you'll be looking for revenge now, certainly if you can get off to a good start. As Ozyildirim goes into P1 with a 103.020. Kristóf Szelle moves in towards P3 as well for AlphaTauri. The times are really starting to flick through now. Akinci, he can't improve, as now we look further on behind as well. Akinci, our star as well from last week, championship leader. He is now out on a fast lap. He has to make a play here, Josh.
Actually invalid on his lap time, will not get that lap count. I believe Kedon Lutt is actually on lap as well, coming towards sector 3 on a decent one, flying toward the final couple of corners for the McLaren driver, rounding the final corner again in the Challengers series this time across the line. Kedon Lutt goes P3 with 3.179, a brilliant lap time as well to beat Kristóf and his teammate Danny Beresne there. 4 P5 he goes down to lap time there all across the field. Bence was on a lap, he was 9,000. Thinks about bailing out as well. I think it was quite enough. He do Martin also starting to back out, check through Miklavčič as well, having a couple of issues on the commentate and editing to try mediums in, flying towards turn 4 for the Mercedes, flying through gears as you come up to stick in towards the Roche corner of left-hander of 4 and into berth of 5, a little bit too wide, but keeps it pinned anyway. 13,000 sub. Recent personal best. He's absolutely flying on these teams as he comes towards sector 3. 6 and no aim. And 7th of Rit as he comes towards Rit now, flying through the right, but decides to back out, not thinking it's good enough. And a lot of these drivers having looked at their story, just not thinking their laps are fairly decent enough. And Miklavčič, another one of validations, but it's definitely a similar story. Not many people thinking that times are good enough and thinking different.
Yeah, no, certainly a lot of the cars are bailing in to the pit lane now, and I'd imagine we'll see plenty of them come back out for their final couple of runs. I would have thought certainly 8 minutes left to go. We've now reached pretty much the halfway point, and Szabó-Kónyi is currently sitting in P7. He's just on a slow run right now. There's quite a few drivers already coming out onto outlaps. Ulas and Ozyildirim, though, topping the timing tables, unseating Piotr Stachulec. The gap between them sits currently at around 7/100ths of a second, which is absolutely incredible. The Aston Martin now as well, and Primož Miklavčič is also out on track as well. Remember, he of course was one of the stars from last week, taking race victory at Portimao, and he was also on the front row with Piotr Stachulec in race 1 at Imola, where he went crashing out, heading through Tamburello as well. It was those two that came together, and now Primož Miklavčič is going to be looking for revenge. He's going to be hungry for revenge. revenge, that's for sure. As he has invalidated actually heading out to Primož, so that's certainly not going to help. And that means he's going to have to go for another run, that's for sure. Akinci, his other competitor up at the top end, also out on a lap as well. Plenty of cars out and about, as Tomek Paratis is also out. Also one of the stars of Miklavčič. He's gone purple in sector 1, Josh. He is going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you cut out there, not 100% sure what you were saying. We run a salt and border towards turn 1, absolutely sending it through turn 1 in the Alpine. As you come up toward turn 2 of Primož, another start in the mid. So fight up on it. Personal best and in towards turn 2. And Hamilton and Iker had a little bit of a tangle down a rock near Danny Marino, fairly iconic and very speed was the 2-6 again. Salt and Boulder come towards turn 3 now, flying the gear 6 into as you come in to 4th gear approach. 5th gear action as you fly through the left hand, hitting the curve, and now that's much better. Sector 2, about just for a 10th up in towards sector 2. This is looking for the top to try and knock off Bence Szabó-Kónyi in P2 balls. He flies towards Rit now 7 and into final corner now to run to, and he doesn't. Rest wide open for Boulder across the line, but we are just losing a little bit of time. Sector 3, but there's definitely a lot of time in there.
Yeah, Zsolt and Baena not able to improve too much. Ulas and Ozyildirim still on top spot. Tomek Paratis is sitting in P2 right now. Here's this man, Akinci, now making his way through Sector 2. Coming around the final corner. Can the Red Bull go higher? Opens up the DRS. He'll certainly cross the line. P3 is what he gets. Unseats Piotr Stachulec. Great run indeed as Piotr Stachulec gets it back. Moves up into pole position. Incredible. 5 minutes left. He's the only man in the 102s. What a lap there. Certainly from that man, Josh.
Fantastic. Polishman the line to 0.997. That is absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe we have just done that in the real. We've seen it probably in practice sessions. Some of these guys are but in the real thing. That's quite magic. 2.97. Fantastic youngster. Aiden Lutt also on a lap as well, but decides to back out of late on into 3. Is Bampu also on a lap, but invalidating again. Also, not a lot of good laps going held as all the validations. It's very common theme. Bence also lap 5,000 into sector 1. Very, very tight margins to get your position here if you want it. It's a styling check. Also on a good, we just saw to that 2.9. Can you in the 1? Not sure how through that is. The only was half attempt. He fights toward the curve and in towards the corner and decides to back out once again. I'm not sure how much we have inside. There is yellow flags in sector 2. So we have 5 minutes to go in this session. He do mine. Also going to try and go on his lap. I believe he is on a Primož Miklavčič. Also try one more. A lot of failed, but this time I think he will try and make it stick.
Yeah, 100%. We will obviously keep our eyes peeled now for the final few minutes of quali. This is the calm before the storm, folks, and the first man, I believe, is going to come out. It could be Tomek Paratis, who was the first man to leave in the run we had previously. He's going out again. There you can see he's going to be the first man to head out for the final runs with 3 minutes left to go here in qualifying. And it's going to be interesting to see who can make a play now in these final few moments. Certainly Ulas Ozyildirim, he's right on his tail as well. He will also be out on an outlap. So is Milan Mayer and Jeffrey Ritchie. Milan Mayer, of course, getting P3 last time at Imola as well. And is also a very tenacious character, was fighting very much in the segment for points. And you'd pretty much expect if you can score in Imola, you could surely score at Austria as well. And as we're now watching Tomek make his way through the middle sector, very soon he'll be in sector 3 as he comes out of the Verth curve. Now down through towards Rint, where of course you've got the pit lane entry on the right hand side. He's got the final corner at Red Bull Mobile as well. And let's see what Tomek can do. Comes around the final corner. Big opportunity for Tomek here to get himself off the mark here at FuturEsports. Josh, what does he need to do?
You have to go a little bit quick at the moment, but by a little, it's about half of it needs to snatch pole position on the deadlocks. He flies towards turn 1 of the Castrol edge and in towards turn 2 of a little bit of kink to the initial turn 3. 2.5 tenths down actually. Not been a good sector for Tom Radzic now, but can he find anything from towards sector 2? At the Schultz curb as Primož Miklavčič retires from the second pit lane, thinking his laps is okay for the top 10 so far, but we stick boards with Radzic in towards sector 2 now, flying towards the left of Radzic again. Gear action, flying up towards and in towards the left, I believe has decided to back that lap times. You can see he's back down to decide to back out of that one. One of the ripples also in front of him, that might be Szabó-Kónyi. No, it's not, it is Akinci P4, but he is slowly. That was Bence Szabó-Kónyi on an outlap. My apologies. Piotr also on a lap time in the Ferrari, the number 8 car. And towards the left, there can he try an extended division pole position so far as he hung towards sector 2. He's 15 up. He is improving. Massive slide there out the curb. Just saw the step out of into the curb as Uzyildirim position 2.938. That is absolutely fantastic. Snatches away from Stachulec. Brilliant lap time from the Williams, the Turkish man.
Yeah, splendid there from Ulas. Ozyildirim went purple in sector 2, managed to find the time where no one else could. Kedon Lutt comes across the line as well. He is out on a hot lap. Samuel Bean tops the listing now. He goes to the top. Here comes Piotr Stachulec. He drops down to 4th, with Akinci moving up into 3rd place. Incredible. He goes 3rd fastest. We got plenty of other cars out on track as well. Kristóf Szelle comes across the line. He can't improve. His teammates as well. We've got Norbert Jakob coming across the line. He can't go any faster than 10th place. In behind as well, more cars coming through. We got plenty, loads of them coming on. Now, Piotr can't improve either. Also up at the top end, it's still going to be Samuel Bean who holds on. He has got pole for now, but more and more cars cascading in the final moments of qualifying. This is kicking off.
Absolutely, indeed. I think Isvan going towards 1 now, so that teammate of Isvan Puki going towards P4. That Isvan Nagy was on board with Mayor, can't improve either. P13, Welch also on a lap time, the man 37,000 up in sector 2. Can he snatch his way towards the P10 and maybe even pole position? He needs to find a match sector 3 to do so. Flying towards the final couple of corners for Welch around in the final corner. Very tight on the track, and across the line comes to a P12. Can't improve, but he does improve, but can't improve his position time. Norbert Jakob also on a lap, but has invalidated as well. Danny Berezne has decided to back out. Tomek Radzic is also out there. I'm not sure if he is on a lap, I believe he is, and I think it is going to be Samuel Bean, Spanish driver, on pole position for the first time here in FES 3.
Certainly is. Samuel Bean taking P1 pole position here in qualifying. What a tenacious drive by the Aston Martin. Right through the session, we have not seen him up at the top end, but where it counted, when he needed it most, he managed to get himself on pole position for the race that we're going to be having here very soon here at Spielberg. What an effort from the Aston Martin. The same cannot be said from his teammate Primož Miklavčič, of course, the star of the show last time out. For the first time, he does not get on the front row here in the FuturEsportS FES 3 League. Absolutely sensational. Miklavčič, of course, can pull off anything, though. I tell you what, he's a talent. I would not count him out of the race, that is for sure, but certainly we give all the prospects here to potentially Samuel Bean, who is very good at what he does, very good at his craft at the top end. Samuel Bean is on pole, folks, so 102.889 is the time. And then you look further down, you've got Tomek Radzic just in behind as well. You've got 1100ths of a second separating the pair, with Ulas Ozyildirim in 3rd place, just under half a tenth. Incredible, with Akinci in 4th as well. What a top end, certainly, with Piotr Stachulec in 5th. We got Kristóf Szelle in 6th, with Danny Berezne in 7th, Kedon Lutt in 8th, Jeffrey Ritchie in 9th, Norbert Jakob 10th, Primož Miklavčič in 11th, with Louis Welch, the pad man, in 12th, Milan Meyer, Istvan Puki, then Zoltan Boda, Brent Szabó-Kónyi, and Ido Mayer Piotr, and as well as Zoltan Boda, currently down in 12th place. But what a phenomenal scene we've just seen in qualifying, Jish. It has been nothing short of exquisite. Great battles, certainly in between them in quali even, with Tomek Brajic looking like one of the faster of the bunch up at the top end, as well as many others. Ulas Ozyildirim was impressive, but how about that effort from Samuel Bean? Last Gas showed no signs of being at the top end earlier on in qualifying, but the clutch finale, he did it when it mattered most, got himself onto pole position. How important is that heading into the race?
Absolutely, it's massive. Important, as there's only a number of overtaking opportunities you can go to. Mainly down into towards P2 is the main one, towards turn 2, and turn 1 is very tight, so it is crucial that Samuel Bean does get that pole position, and he did so, and that is where you need to do it. Right at the death is where it counts. He is being rewarded with that pole position. Absolutely fantastic effort from Samuel Bean.
Yeah, tremendous effort indeed, and just goes to show what he is capable of. We've seen him so many times up at the top end, battling with the best. Certainly races with a lot of these drivers, week in, week out. These drivers do know each other, folks. They race with each other all the time. It's a very common sight, certainly to see them all together. But I have to say, coming here to Austria, where it is going to be a very, very tight fight, a very short track, there's not a lot of opportunities for certainly a quieter race. It is literally go from the word go. And now Samuel Bean will lead them around on the formation lap. So very shortly we will head over there, folks, certainly, and bring you all the action. We're now watching them warm up the tyres. Just a quick reminder of the calendar here tonight. Austria, we are here at Spielberg. Then following this race, we have Great Britain. But look at the calendar of events we've got coming up, including Spa, as well as Monza, Austin, and Mexico City as well. What a calendar. What a treat you guys have for the rest of the season. There is Samuel Bean leading the way, warming up the tyres, ready for the start of this race. A clean getaway is what's important. If you have any predictions, folks, please hammer up the live chat. Tell us who you're backing in this event tonight. Samuel Bean on pole, Tomek Brajic in second alongside him. Ulas Ozyildirim in behind as well, with Akinci in fourth. Of course, Akinci leading the championship standings. I want to hear from you now yourself, Josh. Who are you backing for this race? Who in your mind is going to get victory at the end of this one?
Going to be tight, obviously. Samuel Bean, if he get a good look off the line, going to be absolutely impressed. But he's got a very quick Polishman just behind him, Tomek Brajic, and also Ulas Ozyildirim, making 4 lines. Akinci, the championship leader so far in P4, doing well, but definitely, if the strategy plays well for Samuel Bean and Tomek Brajic, I think they could both be in a shout. I think I will go for Tomek Brajic.
Well, it's going to be tight between the two. You get the feeling that if you get the jump heading in towards turn 1, obviously it'll give you a good advantage, but plenty of DRS zones can soon bridge the gap. Like I said, folks, a pleasure to have every single one of you on board for this one. We're going to be in for a hellacious ride as the drivers now line up for the start of this Austrian Grand Prix here at the FuturEsports Event 2 for the FES League 3. Keep it with us. Soon the green flags will wave. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light! And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! What a jump from Brajic, who immediately jumps into the front here! Samuel Bean got a very slow getaway, Ulas Ozyildirim fancy to go around the inside, as now you can see behind as well, Stachulec coming to join in the fun. 2 wide there, could soon be a 3 wide situation, and through towards Remus, it's a cluster of cars in the back. Beresne goes for a deep dive now, 3 wide round Remus, between him as well as Norman Jakob in the fight, Kristóf Szelle there as well, as we now watch them head down towards Slush Gold. Here's Stachulec. He's going to take a wide line around that corner now as they rise through it. Akinci comes into the fight. You can see Ulas Ozyildirim trying to fend off Stachulec and does so brilliantly, but Brajic leads. Your tip leads this race, Josh.
Incredible reaction time from Tomek Brajic there. Gets the lead into turn 1. Samuel Bean having an atrocious start there off the line, maybe going a little in towards a whip in, but it's an absolutely dream for Tomek Brajic off the line as Ulas Ozyildirim tries to hunt him. And Tomek Brajic with the fastest of the first lap as Piotr Stachulec as well, trying his best to keep up with Ulas Ozyildirim. They're having a great battle all the way through. I think he could be on and over. If he does get the machine going, he's going to hold on to Ulas Ozyildirim. They come up towards turn 2. Does he think about a die. He doesn't just think out there patiently as Danny Berezne had a little bit of a sniff on Kristóf and Miklavčič and hunts him way down. He goes side by side, but Norbert Jakob can't get it done. But Norbert gonna try around the outside. It's very, very incredible thing to done. It hasn't. There's a huge collision there between Miklavčič and Jakob and another driver. I think it was Jeff Ritchie as well. And that is not bright ideas from Norbert Jakob there. Not a great idea, and it causes Miklavčič to go off the spin route, and that is not what he needed to in the champion, and it's happened at Imola once again.
Yeah, certainly Primož Miklavčič following on from a very much a disastrous effort when we came to event 1 at Imola. It was at that point where he crashed out as well, and now unfortunately he's suffering again. He is now at the back of the field. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got into the, well, he hasn't got into the pits, but Norbert Jakob's in the pits, but Primož Miklavčič rooted to the back of the field. We're going to rejoin with the battle up at the front because Paradis still leads. Samuel Bean in second place, Ulas Ozyildirim in third, Piotr Stachulec watching on in fourth. Ulas Ozyildirim now maybe having a look at Samuel Bean as they head down in towards Slush Gold. Still currently Paradis in front. Danny Berezne trying to stir up something as well against Kristóf Szelle. That's proving difficult, but just look at the gap between Berezne and Louis Welch, nearly stretched out to a whole second. Now that could split the whole classification into two parts, because as soon as they get into DRS, that will of course allow them to flee the field in behind, but Louis Welch doing well to maintain that delta, so very good work from him. But Piotr Stachulec looking very menacing, currently sitting with 3/10 away, but he's opted to pit, Josh, so early on.
That was very early start there, which is very interesting to pit that at the end of lap bolting on. Another set of off. No, that's the mid. Sorry, a little bit of a glare on my end. So going on to into this yellow flag in sector. That is his teammate of Zsolt going round at someone, not what he wanted to see, but Brasic unable to lead. Danny Berezne to drop down on Kristóf. Brilliant move there from the McLaren driver and heads up in towards P4. Kristóf getting the penalty on just a lap go, so not what he needs on this time. Just has to keep penalty free. Edu Martin getting close to Zsolt and Boat as well. Battle for P as well. There's battle everywhere you look, but look at the gap between Ulas and Akinci third of 1.4 seconds. The top three are absolutely going hammer and top together to try and away from this pack, and they're working very, very well together. In goes Tommy Bence there, pit lane as well, trying to repeat, so trying to react to Piotr there. Samuel Bean sets his far Grand Prix immediately by Szabó-Kónyi with that 4.989 as Miklavčič or the medium compound tyres try to react to Piotr Stachulec, as I said, but where will they cut in allegation to anyone else? We just look at Piotr Stachulec and in towards sector 3, round turn 1 they go. It's going to be close out of the pit lane, but Tomek gets on the overcut, seeming a little bit more powerful, and Stachulec is just behind Primož here. This could move to a net pit if it needs to, as Bean and Ozyildirim go and tongs together in towards turn 3, bustling everywhere you look. I cannot keep up with this.
No, it's this sensational battle between Samuel Bean and Ulas Ozyildirim, who's been peppering the rear of the Aston Martin as they come out of the S section now, coming under the Wirth banner before they then reach the Rin curve. They're going to hightail now down through this downhill right segment, and very shortly they do indeed. They opt to box. They've got to react because, of course, none other than that man, Tomek Paradis, and of course Piotr Stachulec. They have both boxed already, so as they make their way through, there is Tomek Paradis now coming through ring corner. Let's keep an eye on how this plays out, because of course it will be the case potentially, and I think this is going to be oh so easy. Is Paradis going to hold on to the lead here? Samuel Bean still making his way through. You can see there the top of the Aston Martin trickling through the pit exit. Paradis will take the net lead of the race. Paradis in front, in behind as well Stachulec. There you can see Samuel Bean, Ulas Ozyildirim. They are as they were, folks. Tomek Paradis maintains the net lead of the race. Incredible scenes here in lap 6 of 18.
Absolutely, as the cut sees the best choice of strategy there. Tomek Paradis get the job done on the overcut. Piotr Stachulec was a couple of behind, so that will probably expect by a few, but it is for Samuel Bean and Ozyildirim try and hunt. Stachulec is that key. These two try and snatch the win. Tomek Primož, Welch, and Bence away. That is Szabó-Kónyi to the pit lane after 6. Louis Welch deciding to stay out for a couple more laps alongside Zsolt and the other guys. So Szabó-Kónyi deciding to that one. It is definitely crucial for Bean and Ulas to try and pressurize Stachulec, as that Resnay sets the first lap of the Grand Prix with that 4.50. Martin to job done and sold Boulder as Milan, his teammates, having a little bit of a look on there, but there's also Miklavčič put them around the outside, and Pookie Norman Cobb with a 3-time penalty there, and they're all battling away as also Edu Martin and Zsolt Boulder once again back away. Time falls Oda, who gets to P2.
Yeah, we've got a huge opportunity here now for Samuel Bean, who has a little nose down in towards Stachulec. We've got a nice group of 4 cars here, all contesting for that net lead of the race. Tomek Primož, of course, who has already boxed. So is Stachulec, so is Samuel Bean, and so is Ulas Ozyildirim. These are going to be contesting for the eventual lead in this race. There you can see the nose to tail, nothing separates them. Out of the Verth curve now, down through towards Rin. Primož with the pace, leading them round, has managed to gap Piotr Stachulec just a little bit, just about half a second, just over it in fact, and that's growing out towards 6/10. Good opportunity potentially for Samuel Bean as they head around towards the Niki Lauda curve. 3-second time penalty for Primož Miklavčič as well as they head around turn 1. Huge opportunity for the Aston Martin. Should he be able to get into the slipstream? Will he try something? Heading up towards Remus corner. He might wait until the next straight as they make their way through. Stachulec managing to catch up with Primož, which is oh so key because he needs the drag, needs the pace in order to keep that Aston Martin in behind.
Absolutely is crucial in this DRS not to go, but maybe a race route dive bomb that could affect both of them. As Ulas Ozyildirim really hitting on the pressure of Samuel Bean there in the winning cars. They fly towards Ouch there at PU turn 4, and it is crucial. Samuel Bean once again a keeper in this race, try and bat with Primož in the gap about 7 seconds, as I think that is Martin and Milan opting for the lane at lap 9 of 8, trying towards the final corner comes Bean and Piotr and just much Primož is pushed there. The gap is just much more. Staff and Stat as they come towards one once again. There goes Bean, there goes Stachulec, there goes Primož, but Stachulec gets a brilliant one, but Bean gets a much better one as they come towards turns. Will he get a dart? Stachulec is looking for it as well. Your Bean looks for it, but once again, off Ulas Ozyildirim has a little bit of look there, but not to his liking. Okonyi gets in Szelle. Kristóf is there battling for P12 and P13 side by side along with Dani Beresne, looking for some fun, well hunting Akinci, but Stachulec still behind Samuel Bean still behind Stachulec, and Ozyildirim still behind Bean.
Yeah, certainly is. We can see they're still side by side now, but Szabó-Kónyi, too much there for Kristóf Szelle, who's in P13, and unfortunately not able to typify Szabó-Kónyi for that P12 position. The gap between Samuel Bean and Piotr Stachulec comes down to within 0.2 of a second. Primož Miklavčič also in the midst of a scrap as well, as we watch them make their way down through the home paddock straight. Once again, jumping those that have got into the pit lane. Tomek Primož now takes the absolute lead of this Austrian Grand Prix. Stachulec in behind as well. Samuel Bean 2.5 tenths in behind him, just waits patiently with DRS open. He'll choose to open up the door potentially. Defending here, Piotr Stachulec, and he smells danger as Samuel Bean hangs around the outside out of Remus. Not able to make the move just yet, but he will have a nice exit speed. Gets himself right to the slipstream of the Scuderia Ferrari. The Aston Martin goes for the switchback down the outside of Stachulec. What an audacious move there by Samuel Bean. Hangs the car around the outside. The Ferrari hangs on too. Federer in the throttle again. Samuel Bean with the advantageous line. A little slip of the wrist, but he gets through okay. Half a second in behind Tomek Primož, but crucially gets ahead of Stachulec. What a move there from Samuel Bean.
Samuel moved there. A couple of that is he doing in the background, but a crucial move there for Samuel Bean getting the job done towards Sector 2. That was an absolutely fantastic move from the Spaniard, and now we can try and push Primož. Been really good towards turn 1. Got him the job on Stachulec. Stachulec and have the leg up as they come towards turn 2. He wants to have a look. No, he doesn't. Just waits patiently as Ulas and Ozyildirim in the background. That's she down to Brezhnev going 3 wide. McLaren getting sandwiched. Brilliant move there by Szabó-Kónyi up towards P5 down to Brezhnev. Running to P6 with Szelle battling away alongside Akinci. All battling away. And that's fantastic battle. Danny Brezhnev ends one down the inside of Kristóf. They go by side towards turn now. He's still in it right now. The Hungarian, or the other Hungarian, Akinci, have some fun then and towards the inside of Perez. Can't get it done as Brezhnev, Szelle, Kristóf, Szabó-Kónyi, Akinci battling away for P5 there. Brilliant. So we're seeing a Szelle, Kristóf penalty. He's going to hunt, but also look at this man here, Ozyildirim, the Turk in this battle, trying to battle with Stachulec. Come up towards 1 as Sabine. Look how much he closed in. Primož lead almost 3 and almost 2 now as he comes to turn 1. Bial with fastest lap of the ground. We stay on board with Samuel Bean as Richie in the pit lane. We stay on board with Samuel Bean. Does he have a look on the inside? He doesn't. Still down. Samuel Bean on Primož on Bean. Ozyildirim on Stachulec. It is they were.
Yeah, absolutely. Samuel Bean now in second place, chasing on the Tomek Primož. Just look at this pace from this Aston Martin after dispatching Piotr Stachulec. He has really come into his own right now, but he's right on the rear of the young Polish mastermind, Tomek Primož. Of course, Veloce student as well. Student of the game at McLaren Shadow, driving the Alpine now here today as they come out of the S section, leading out of Earth Curve, down through towards the ring corner. Again, Samuel Bean has a little look to the right-hand side. Not sure why though, because he doesn't need to defend, but someone who might need to defend is Piotr Stachulec, because here comes Ulas Ozyildirim, who opens up the DRS. Again breaking to the inside is Samuel Bean, who can now see him behind the Williams side to pepper the rear of that Ferrari this time as they make the almighty climb. A little bit untidy there from Stachulec, who immediately looked to dive to the inside. Ulas Ozyildirim might have been fed up of waiting. Here comes Samuel Bean for the lead now as well. The Aston Martin sends it up the inside of Remus, and now owns P1 at this moment in time. In mind as well, we've got Tomek Primož right on the rear now of Samuel Bean, side by side into Slosh Gold. Is it going to be a golden move? It is gold indeed. Primož on top. In mind as well, Ulas Ozyildirim fighting it out here. Oh, he's off the track. It's Ozyildirim off onto the grass, and Stachulec holds on to third place.
Brilliant move there for Samuel Bean, turn 2, but got on the DRS beautifully there. Done by the Polishman. Bean again trying to defend to try and break the toe from Stachulec there. Brilliant move and a crucial move for Tomek Primož with only a handful of laps to go. And an absolutely fantastic race it was for a fantastic move it was. But Samuel Bean is not done yet. He wants more on the Bean drivers. They fly towards and won the DRS wide open for Banyan, and time he made things wrapped up. He chooses right or he chooses side by side action. B down the inside. Does he hold enough on the brakes? Yes, he does. And Primož try but Samuel Bean done. DRS wide open. One for the pole. Does he try down the inside? 3, 4 laps. No, he's thinking about it, but holds on in. Samuel Bean does take legitimate race lead here in Austria.
Yeah, great move for Samuel Bean, and now takes absolute lead of this race. Remember, he started on pole position at the very beginning after a very superb clutch finish in qualifying. He's going to need a clutch finish now to keep Primož in behind as well. Stachulec still owning on to P3. Ulas Ozyildirim's done well to get to catch up with the 3 cars ahead as well. He's right on the rear of Stachulec, and I'm sure he's going to repay the favour after their collision heading out of Slosh Gold at 2 laps previous. As now we watch them make their way down towards turn 1. An exceptional race this has been. 15 laps of 18. We got 3 more to go as they're round turn 1 again. Samuel Bean leads the way. 0.3 of a second of 4/10 separates the pair, but it's coming down now very, very quickly. Primož might look to send it. No, he decides to park the car in behind. Great opportunity to save the ERS as we got a battle between Kristóf Szelle and Ben Szabó-Kónyi in behind as well. Here comes Louis Welch, who goes wheel to wheel with Akinci as they make their way out of Remus corner. DRS opened up for both drivers now as Louis Welch, the pad man, goes toe-to-toe with Akinci. Championship leader forces him out wide out of Slosh Gold. Louis Welch holds on to 8th. Great move, great defending, and then he'll be certainly 2/10 in behind Brezhnev now as well. What a fight up at the top end.
brilliant move there as his battle the way from down to 9th and down into 4th. As Miklavčič getting a brilliant move down there. Dan Akinci almost heart in moment as he went into the back of Baena there, but lucky he held on to the brakes there. And incredible, and that is Dan Akinci having a massive line out of the final corner. A very much scary moment as we move to the battle. Lead Primož versus Baena. Here comes Primož with the slipstream on Samuel. He wants to try and move down. He's got to do it once again. Just sit in, and this is strategy to try and hold on. P2 as Primož Miklavčič gets the job done for the lap as well. Louis and Janik still battling away with Kristóf, and Szabó-Kónyi once battling away. Louis Welch and Akinci and Louis Welch around the outside. Goes the Mercedes, still holding on outside route on the soft tyres. Head to Akinci, 10 lap of mediums, they're still side as they head towards the left of corner. Welch and Akinci banging wheel all the time. Here's Louis Welch just holds us through. Akinci has to wait a little while longer to get moved done up into the 8, but Samuel still holds the lead, but for much longer. Thinking 2 laps later, it'll be Primož who will try and get the job done and get this race lead.
Well, I think he's going to be waiting until the final lap. He might choose to unleash it here this time because of the straight at the top of the hill. Of course, that Samuel Baena might choose to get him back on. You can see the gap now starting to increase as Primož now making his way up through towards Remus and sends it up the inside now and goes ahead of Samuel Baena. We got a battle in behind as well between Szabó-Kónyi, who dispatches Danny Berezne. A 3-wide potential affair here outside Samuel Baena. Sends it into Stachulec and takes the line, but Primož squeezes him on the outset, as well as Stachulec, who's looking to try and get into P2 and into the fight for the lead as well. Zsolt Bial has retired from the session, but Primož is back in front. Back in front, Primož. Samuel Baena has got to do it on the next lap.
Absolutely, this is a final dash for Samuel Baena, Piotr and Ozyildirim, all these drivers still win this Grand Prix. They head towards the final lap and final corner. Samuel Baena in P2, Primož in P1. It's all going to fall on turn 2 in towards the right there. Oh, Samuel Baena crucial. He gets the job done. Definitely done. Tries to get in the slipstream. Zsolt Bial here. Samuel Baena crucially makes his move and Primož to the fence. Right outside. Samuel Baena. Primož, they still go side by side. Primož holding it down the inside. They still go side by side. The two there. Aston Martin versus Alpine. They bang wheel. Piotr Stachulec holding in on there. Primož tries to go around the outside. Goes Samuel trying to go defense. They force each other to track. Brilliant race here on the final lap. Primož still holding. There goes Samuel Baena down the inside. Can't get it done, and it is Primož who's looking likely to be race winner. Akinci and Louis Welch has come into collision at final lap. It's going to be Primož. Nothing fantastic here will win the Austrian Grand Prix.
Yeah, round the final corner now, the Red Bull Mobile curve, and it is going to be Tomek Primož who takes victory here and will win and claim the P1 at the Austrian Grand Prix. Samuel Baena, a huge effort on the final lap, just could not keep the pole behind him. He comes home in second place after a brilliant qualifying effort. In third place, Ulas Ozyildirim manages to pin Piotr Stachulec. Those two are dueling it left, right and centre for that third place. And an amazing effort from him to get himself into the top 3, gets third place. Piotr Stachulec down to P4, and as well as Szabó-Kónyi getting up into 5th as well. An amazing drive from him as well, but an amazing effort. Certainly a great thing to see. Szabó-Kónyi, no surprise, driver of the day after that effort getting up into 5th place. But how about that win? Your tip won it in the end, Josh. Tomek Primož taking victory here at Austria. What a way to do it as well.
Absolutely a fantastic there for Primož to get the P. Hold on absolutely valiantly to a very hard driver of Samuel the 2. One of the greatest academy drivers so far, riding through the ranks of F1 esports. But it is Primož who holds on victorious here in Austria with a beautiful race from him. And there it is. 52,000 they were separated by as they head across the line. How close is that between the two, with Ulas Ozyildirim Piotr there online as well for P3. A beautiful drive there from Stachulec as well to hold him off, but couldn't hold him off. I believe actually, I think it was Louis Welch and Akinci getting into a massive crash there on the final lap, which made Akinci retire, similar to Kimi Räikkönen and Seb Vettel of the season. So not what he wanted to that end, but he does hold on to that 1 point as well. But a brilliant race so far. Danny Bresnay doing well in P6. Szabó-Kónyi in P5, 16th on the grid. Absolute fantastic race for him. But it is Primož who does take the victory here in Austria.
Yeah, and what a way to do it as well. And that claims his first win of the championship as well in grandiose fashion. A duel of sorts between him and Samuel Bean. An amazing effort, certainly from Samuel Bean, to park the car on pole position. Didn't get the jump he wanted, though. Tomek proving once again why he is a tenacious figure, an aggressive one of sorts as well. Loves to chuck it, certainly loves to throw it, and he doesn't mind a scrap either. And that just goes to show how good you need to be the best at this game. He's certainly one of the hot shots for the future, currently performing excellently in the Challengers Series as well, and we're looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the F1 Esports Challengers event. Of course, we have the FES League here, which of course gives you that insight as to what you can expect in the PC side of Challengers. But here, certainly, we get to see the great racing at the same time, and I have to say, we saw lots of it in that one. So spicy and yet again tantalizing. But the next race, folks, we're going to be heading to Silverstone, of course. That's going to be our next trip. And the home of the British Grand Prix, 5.89 kilometers. That's 18 turns with the fastest lap at a 1:25.095. Any fond memories of Silverstone at all there, Josh?
Probably the most memorable 21 just recently with Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton coming together at Copse Corner. You also had in 2019 Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton doing the same thing, but also a memorable drive. Most of this from Lewis Hamilton in 2008 with that brilliant wet race in 2008, which got him his first British Grand Prix win, but an absolutely fantastic it is. Spanning all the way back from 1950 with Nino Farina getting the win there for Alfa Romeo, so hopefully the two Alphas there can try and create that way back from 70 years ago, or however long it's been. An absolutely fantastic blast from the past. A lot of overtaking opportunities as well. Cops, if you are brave enough as well, maybe in towards Brooklands, in towards there. It's very, very tight, but we could see some absolutely fantastic turn one, race one incidents and overtakes. It's going to be absolutely fantastic and an absolutely cracking one with the one-shot qualifying system as well. So it is going to be an all blast to the end, but it's going to be an absolutely fantastic qualifying, an absolutely fantastic race.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, folks, and we're going to be in for a real treat. As Joshua rightly said, we are going to be going to one-shot quali for the next one, like we did last time out, if you remember, heading into Portimao. We had a one-shot quali event, of course, where literally anything goes. You've got to go for it. You've only got one chance to park it on pole. So it's a good test of strength, a test of, I suppose, inquisitiveness to see whether you have it, the consistency, and certainly the knowledge of how to, you know, find your way around a circuit in order to get the most out of your car. We'll have to wait and see who certainly has the best of those skills, certainly as we head into our next race. But obviously, looking at some of the talking points, certainly the early pit stops was certainly on the cards. Naturally, a lot of those softs were binned in the first 3 to 4 laps. I suppose that's a common sight, I suppose, over an 18-lap race. You're not going to need to take the softs too deep because the mediums could pretty much last the majority of the way. So I suppose that's top-tier driver knowledge for you there, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, start on the mediums, you don't really need to pit. Obviously you have to, but if those rules were not in place, you didn't really need to pit. 18 laps on the mediums is fairly doable, so I wasn't really surprised. I was surprised a little bit with how early Stachulec came in on lap 3. That was fairly early, but not as are coming in sub lap 5 to try and bin off the softs, as you said, to just try and go onto the mediums. It is fairly occurring and I'm sure we may see the same in Britain. Obviously, it's a very, very long pit straight, one of the longest on the calendar, so we may see them holding out just a little while longer. They can try and get the gap going, but it is going to be maybe a similar story, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we certainly will. And I have to say, please leave your comments in the live chat, folks. I can already see it's very, very busy already, with everyone certainly enjoying what we've had to offer. Big thank you to Levente Pushcast. I think we're having a few issues. I think it must be a net issue. I think your end, Josh. I think on this occasion, with the voice sort of cutting out here and there. But I have to say, doing our best for you guys. It's a very, very good show indeed. Certainly here at Future Esports, giving you the best on the F1 2021 game, and obviously looking to bring more to you. Just a quick reminder as well of the calendar. I know we keep referring back to it, but of course it does tell you the events we have got arranged for the next the next 3 events after this one. Of course, event 3 on the 1st of March, Zandvoort at the Netherlands. Of course, one of the most dramatic tracks on the calendar. Certainly the crowd are absolutely off the chain, I have to say. Watching it back from last year, we were treated to a very exceptional event. The Dutch certainly know how to put on a show, as well as Spa-Francorchamps as well. 2 tenacious circuits, a traditional circuit of Spa as well, which has honed many glorious occasions and many excellent races in the history of Formula One. Monza, the Temple of Speed, comes up on the 15th of March for event 4, with Austin, Texas playing host to the United States Grand Prix as well. And then following that, the final event, event 5, on the 29th of March. We're off to Mexico City at the Autodromo Jonas Rodriguez, followed then by the Brazilian Grand Prix circuit of Sao Paulo as well, where we're going to witness certainly a grand finale like we've seen many grand finales at Brazil in history as well. Obviously nowadays it's Abu Dhabi, but we're looking forward to certainly the many races we have to come here at Future Esports. So I just want to say, if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing at home as well on Twitch, or whether you're watching on YouTube, please hit the follow button if you are watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, why not hit that subscribe button, leave a like as well, and leave a comment, or come and join us in the live chat. You're all more than welcome to join us for this fabulous evening of racing. We're going to be waiting for the lobby now to certainly turn up at Silverstone, and obviously looking at the future ahead, and certainly in this up-and-coming race, a lot of variation where it comes to Silverstone. Josh, you've got a lot of fast speed corners, then a lot of slow corners as well, not to mention several very high speed straights. Of course, we've alluded to incidents at Copse Corner with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, but you've got a similar corner at Stowe as well, which you can pretty much hang on the throttle or just lift off slightly as you coast around it. Lots of opportunities for overtaking. Maggots and Beckett's, of course, as well, is a very, very tricky string of corners as well. If you don't get it right, then your exit is going to be hindered coming out of Chapel Curve. You know, what do these drivers need to do? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Going to be a definitely interesting. Obviously, Louis Welch, the only British driver here, so hopefully the British crowd will be definitely cheering him on tonight. But it's an interesting one. Anyone's game, really. Obviously, I'm looking back at a couple of races last night, PSGL and WOR, and not a lot of these drivers in them, but when they have had the greatest of races, but when they definitely do have them, it's definitely going to be an absolutely fantastic one. Tomic Pradzich just winning here in Austria earlier on, if you are just joining us, but it's definitely going to be he is going to be fueled from that race win to try and do well later on this race, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one coming, but it is anyone's game. Anything can happen in F1, and it usually does.
Certainly does that, which, like you say, as soon as we get ready for the lobby, we'll be joining you. Well, you'll be joining us out on track, folks. It is going to be a very, very good race. Certainly, Silverstone has brought us many tantalising affairs. Obviously, we've alluded to that previously, given to what's happened in Formula One in recent years. But naturally, if you look at the circuit itself, we'll take another look actually at the track info. We'll just have a look at the map itself. And the new Lewis Hamilton straight is what will lead them down towards the Abbey Corner at turn 1. That one you can near enough take flat out. And then following that, you have got the Abbey Corner or Farm Corner at turn 2, leading into the arena section at turns 3, 4 and 5, which will then lead you onto the Wellington Straight. You'll have DRS then heading down towards turn 6, where of course you do go into the left at Brooklands, coming out of Luffield into Woodcote, and then down the National Pit Straight. Which will then lead you to the tenacious Copse Corner, and 315 miles per hour you could top out heading into that one, and then leading in towards Maggots and Beckett's, the very awkward twisting S section, which then leads you out towards Chapel Curve at turn 14. Hanger Straight is next. DRS is opened up at that point as well, leading in towards Copse, where you might have a chance to make another overtake at that point as well. Then into the 90-degree left at Vale, at turn 16 with turn 17 and 18 out of the club corner, which will then lead you back onto the Lewis Hamilton straight. It's certainly going to be very, very interesting. I can't wait to bring it to you, folks. It's going to be a cracker. The big question is, can Tomek Primož add to his already one win on the night tonight after Austria? Can he add a second one, Josh?
Definitely can if he tries to compete with that drive he just did just now. So it's going to be very interesting if he does. But it is anyone's game. Samuel Bean probably looking for revenge as well, to try and get going as well from just that unfortunate race at Austria. He did try and get the win away, but just didn't fall to him in the end. But definitely going to be interesting. These two Welch as well, rules by a race. Maybe he can do something. Just an unfortunate incident at the end upon brewing towards the final corner between himself and Akinci. Hopefully he can try and bounce back from that as well. But it's definitely going to be 1-1 tonight. Don't miss out.
No, not at all. Danny Berezny, of course, who was right in the middle of the scrap. He'd be looking to improve in this one. Piotr Stachulec as well, who was right in the fight. Unfortunately, conceded that P3 to Ulas Ozyildirim. Bear in mind, those two were having a very lengthy scrap of their own. Akinci, who was leading the championship heading into this event, obviously wasn't up at the top end in our last race. You'll be looking to go quicker again as well. So it's all to play for. All of these guys have got the pace, and naturally it'll be interesting to see who can make the most of the one-shot quali. It's going to be a real challenge for a lot of these guys. Obviously, they're used to getting themselves settled in a short qualifying or full qualifying situation, whatever it may be. Though you've only got one chance to dance here heading into Britain, and plenty of areas where you could see an invalidation as well. If you run off too wide at Stowe, it's so easy to get all four tyres off the track and onto the off-track section, where of course you can be lambasted with an invalidated lap time. That's certainly not what you need, and certainly into the first sector as well. It's so easy to do it heading out of turn 1 and heading in towards turn 2. You know, if you run off the track there, very easy again to get an invalidation. So making sure that you've got an on-point lap is so crucial in a one-shot situation. It's going to be very tense out there, Josh. You know, certainly when you go into this one, certainly when you've got one lap to prove yourself, one lap to park your car onto the grid, you know, it's going to be the threshold of success and failure when it comes to getting a pole lap time. It's very marginal, isn't it?
Absolutely, definitely. The one-shot qualifying we have today, it's definitely one. And if you get an invalidation, that's it, you're qualified. It will put you at the back of the field. So there's consequences if you don't get that lap in. So you have to be on it, but you have to be very good. Think of the word to say, but you have to be very focused around the track, especially like Britain, where it's definitely demanding where you place your car, where you apply the throttle, where you put your brake. So it's definitely going to be in one. And one-shot qualifying, it's definitely, I very much like having the one-shot qualifying in leagues. It definitely shows to you who has an overall pace on a one lap, who doesn't, and maybe trying for that race strategy. But it's definitely going to be an interesting, one of the most famous tracks in all of F1, one of my personal favourites, and cannot wait to get started. And it should be absolutely fantastic race.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing it very shortly, folks. We will be heading out onto the track, and obviously we've got plenty of big names here, of course, but it was a big surprise to see Kristóf Szelle not up at the top end either. But also, if you look at the very start, we certainly lost a couple of important names towards the end. Primož Miklavčič, of course, who was touted to be certainly one of the possibilities heading into this race. Remember, he started P10. Unfortunately, was involved in that incident at the start and got sent to the back of the field at Austria. He'll be looking to immediately improve heading into Silverstone. Certainly, I think he will be wanting revenge after that one. But very crucially, obviously, it still maintains our current situation where we've had 3 different winners in every race so far, because of course Piotr Stachulec won, Akinci won the first race of the championship at Imola, followed up by Primož Miklavčič winning the second one at Portimao. Now we've just seen Tomek Primož win heading into Austria. Now we're coming into Silverstone. I tell you what are the chances we're going to get a 4th different winner? That is the big question. Could that happen, Josh?
It could definitely happen. I would absolutely love it to happen. 4 different winners in the four different races. Where have we heard that one before? F1 2012 maybe. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic one. Hopefully we can try and see Szelle. Kristóf obviously was hunting him down in the last couple of races in Austria. Get the luck fighting with Berezne up there for P7, P8, but just didn't really hang on up in there, so hopefully he can try and bounce back. We know how fast he is when it comes to his day. Obviously race winner in the Challengers Series at Imola, so definitely going to be a very, very interesting one to see. But Szelle Kristóf definitely one to try and get the race going.
Yeah, and of course Danny Berezne, like we said before, he's going to be looking to certainly improve as well. Let's have a little quick reminder of the driver lineups that we are going to be witnessing tonight. Obviously there you can see Louis Welch, Jeffrey Ritchie lining up for Mercedes, and Ben Szabó-Kónyi and Akinci as well lining up for Red Bull. Of course Akinci looking to follow on from a brilliant first event where it landed him on top of the standings. He'll be looking to recover from what happened at Austria as well. Danny Berezne, who was in the commentary box last time out in our first event, he's joining Kedon Lutt at McLaren. Of course, he had a bit of a rough ride at Austria as well. Was right in the midfield scrap, but will be looking to maybe get to the top end here at Silverstone. This could be a huge opportunity for Berezne, and I tip him to do very well in qualifying. It certainly takes a calm head. He has been here before. He has been at the highest level and performed at the highest level, has won in F1 Esports as well. So you'd firmly expect him to certainly be at the top end in this one-shot quali affair. Zsolt Bial is also joined by Piotr Stachulec at Ferrari. Stachulec, who was in the fight again heading into Austria as well, scrapping it out with Ulas Ozyildirim in our previous race. Martin Aidu and Tomek Primož, our winner in our previous race at Alpine. Tomek very, very experienced as well for his age. He's been in the scene for quite some time. Veloce signed now for many years and has been on McLaren's academy lineup for many years as well. Samuel Bean in the Aston Martin with Primož Miklavčič, of course, who has yet to certainly show what he showed us in Event 1 here in Event 2. Christoph Szelle alongside Norbert Jakob at AlphaTauri. Milan Meyer alongside Zoltan Boda for Alfa Romeo. Ulas Ozyildirim in the Williams as well, who claimed P3 in our previous race with Istvan Pukki and Istvan Nagy. The two Hasses who we've yet to see at the top. They were looking a little bit better last in our first event. We haven't quite seen the best of Haas, I don't think, in Event 2.
No, definitely not. So that changed for the race to come, but it's definitely very, very tough. Obviously, Istvan Nagy and Istvan Pukki definitely ones definitely very, very quick guys on their day. But looking at the rest of this field, you've got Ulas Ozyildirim, Piotr Stachulec, Danny Berezne, Kedon Lutt, Samuel Bean. You know, it is very, very tough for these guys, but they are definitely up for the challenge. Obviously, some of these guys, they have raced at the highest level. See, Istvan Pukki, I believe, did race at that Overall Nations Cup in China, F1 2020, but it's definitely very, very tough for them. But hopefully they can try and mount up the field a little bit more in Britain. We saw that at Austria just now, but it's definitely going to be interesting if they can try and fight up any more.
Yeah, we'll certainly wait and see, folks. The timer is ticking down now towards qualifying, so we want to hear from you. Who do you think is going to come out on top at Silverstone? I want to see your comments in the live chat. Please send them in, and we will give you the rundown, that's for sure. Of course, it's a pleasure to have you all with us here today for this epic race indeed, or certainly this epic event. Two races, of course. We just had a wonderful one at Austria as well, where we saw the best of them battling it out. And it was, of course, as we said before, Tomek Primož who came out on top in that affair. We now head to Silverstone, a very different circuit in many ways. Obviously, more variation in terms of cornering. It's going to take an all-round driver to come out on top in this one, so we'll wait and see who can do just that. But getting ready now for the one-shot event. It's going to be a spicy one, folks. Certainly one chance to dance, one chance to put it on pole here at Silverstone. Who's going to do it? That is the big question. Again, comments in the live chat. We want to see them. And like I said, please leave a follow if you're on Twitch, and also leave a subscribe if you are on YouTube as well. But looking through the list of drivers, the main threat has to be identified as Danny Berezne. Like I say, he has dealt with pressures before. You need to be able to cope under pressure in one-shot quali situations. I'd firmly pick him as my tip heading in towards qualifying. But are you going to go for Tomek again, Josh? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I might go Tomek again, but it's going to fool anyone else as we coming to turn one. It is Jeffrey Ritchie on top so far, flying towards turn one. Bean immediately replaces him. Now Danny Bereznej is flickering all the time as they come towards sector one and sector two. Fantastic. See them all up there, but it is going to be Danny Bereznej heading toward towards back straight in the lead with Jeffrey Ritchie in P2. Tomek Primož, my tip. Austria P3. Jeffrey Ritchie doing very well here in Britain so far, and immediately Piotr because Ritchie not having the greatest of the twos here. Now fly towards Cops Corner. It's crucial that they don't mess this up. Danny Bereznej coming towards Cops, having an absolute flyover lap so far only in P3 to Bradzic, and actually passing away for P1 and P2 all the way through the end to Maggot and Beckett and into Chapel. And absolute flying of these guys as they come towards sector 3. Once again, all these guys battling away. Here comes Danny Bereznej currently riding on in P2. Can he try to do anything else to try and push P1 away? Stachulec first Tomek. There is Bereznej in P1. Immediately replaced Stachulec. Come towards the final couple of corners now. In towards Club. Stachulec in the lead far for pole position. Immediately replaced by Bereznej as they towards the line. Bereznej, Stachulec. It is Stachulec by 20.86 and Stachulec on pole position, whopping lap of 25.8.
Yeah, he's done exactly what he did in Imola. Remember, he was on pole at the Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and he's done it again. He's tipped this time an F1 Esports veteran in Danny Bereznej, who finishes in second place. Tomek Primož, our winner at Austria, he is in third place, right in behind on the second row with Ulas Ozyildirim alongside him. Szabó-Kónyi once again donning a fifth place spot like he finished in Austria. Samuel Bean in sixth, with Kristóf Szelle in 7th, Kedon Lutt in 8th, Zsolt in 9th, Jeffrey Ritchie in 10th, with Milan Meyer in 11th, Istvan Pukki in 12th, with Primož Miklavčič in 13th. Still not finding that performance that we saw in the first one, and Piotr in 14th as well. But what seems, certainly in qualifying, Stachulec certainly managing to pull it out the bag after that very, very difficult first race where he did come blow to blow with Ulas Ozyildirim. Couldn't quite land himself up at the top order, gotten seated by Ulas Ozyildirim for third place, but he's back with a vengeance and has done exactly what he did at Imola. The big question is, will he still lead after turn one?
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic drive there for Stachulec. Very, very tall order to try and out-qualify the likes of Danny Bereznej, as you say. Esports veteran, the runner-up of 2018, just falling short to Brendan Lee there in that series. But it is going to be a tall order for us. Stachulec. He's got Danny Bereznej holding on in P2, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one as we're about to go green, but it's going to be a very tight one. As I said, Stachulec in pole position, Danny Bereznej in P2. As we just look there, the bottom 11, all elected for mediums apart from Norbert Jakob and Lou Welch, as they all try and select the mediums now. But apart from Lou Welch, they're all on the mediums and we are ready to go for events.
We certainly are. They're just heading out now on their formation lap, and we'll go and join them very, very shortly for this wonderful event here at Silverstone. Certainly it's a circuit with a lot of tradition, as just said as well. Actually opened in 1948, with the first Grand Prix being held in 1950. Of course, Farina, the man, bringing it home on that day. Piotr Stachulec, though, leading them around with Danny Bereznej in second, Tomek Primož in third, Ulas Ozyildirim in fourth, Szabó-Kónyi in fifth, Samuel Bean in sixth, Kristóf Szelle in seventh, Kedon Lutt eighth, Zsolt in ninth, Jeffrey Ritchie in 10th, Milan Meyer in 11th place, Istvan Pukki in 12th, Primož Miklavčič in 13th, with Piotr in 14th, Ido Martin 15th, with Louis Welch in 16th, not performing to the expectations we would have thought, with Zsolt Bial in 17th, Norbert Jakob 18th, Akinci in last place actually, which is not a good place to be if you're Akinci. Only 13 laps here. This is pretty much the sprint in this race, so you've got to try and get yourself to the front end. Pit stops is going to be a real bone of contention. I can certainly figure a lot of them boxing after the first 2 laps. What are your thoughts, Josh? Boxing in lap 3, do you think?
Maybe so, but as it is a long back right here in Silver, so they may try and hold on to try and get the gap they needed. But as we saw in Austria, it's going to be people going to trying to pit at the end of lap 2, lap 3 even, so we could see pit stop under lap 3, but it is anyone's game. Maybe Stachulec will be trying it. Obviously, he tried it in Austria, so why not try it again? If it sort of works for him, just getting that, ending up not getting that podium in the end, but it's definitely going to work out for him in the long run. He was battling with Tomek out of the pits, but we're ready to go now with Danny in P2, Stachulec in P1, and we are ready to go for the British Grand Prix.
Yeah, they're all lining up now onto the starting grid, folks. Comments in the live chat. Please land your tips below. Who do you think is going to win here at Silverstone as we get ready for the start of the British Grand Prix in the second race in Event 2? Green flag's lit. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go. Piotr Stachulec leads the way in behind as well. Danny Perezne, who goes right in behind the Ferrari, looks to follow him through, cuts off Miklavčič, further down as well. Lutt right in the fight. You can see an AlphaTauri of Kristóf Szelle trying to find his way through, as well as an Aston Martin off the track. That's Samuel Bean falling down the order, but it is going to be Piotr Stachulec leading the way. Danny Perezne leads them round, and AlphaTauri has spun. Norbert Jakob has spun, leading down into P19 he goes. Stachulec leads though, Perezne in second, Paratis in third place.
Brilliant stuff there for Stachulec, and Danny Perezne could not get the job done, but Tomek Paradzic is really hunting down his on Kedon Lutt and Bence Konyi trying it side by side. Lutt and Baena, they do get it cleanly. Baena trying to hold it inside. Kedon trying to force him off just a little bit to show door, but it's Kedon Lutt on in there. But a brilliant start there for Stan, who leads 3/10 of a second to Danny Perezne, who is under a little bit of pressure, and to Tomek Paradzic. The two fairly know each other's team. McLaren for Paradzic, the main team for Perezne, comes towards right-hander off stuff. It is Paradzic P3 and P2. Stachulec, brilliant stuff off the lights, out into the final corner in P1 with the fastest lap 30.780.
Yeah, absolutely. Kedon Lutt now in 6th place, holding off Zsolt and Baena. And he's now chasing after Szabó-Kónyi as we can now look further up as well. Danny Perezne still forming up in behind Stachulec. The pit stop affair is going to be an interesting one. Only 13 laps here as now Primož Miklavčič certainly goes down the inside there, trying to fight here with Louis Welch. And Louis Welch gets ahead as well. Louis Welch with a huge start, moves his way all the way up into P12. What a start certainly from him. And here comes Samuel Bean on his teammate and goes ahead of Primož Miklavčič as well. Miklavčič looks to take the outside line as they come round now. This next right heading through Woodcote out of Luffield, and as they do, it is Samuel Bean who gets ahead of Miklavčič. He's had a miserable lap 2 as though Louis Welch goes for it again down the inside of Milan Meyer, going around the Copse corner. Magic certainly from Louis Welch. He has really taken to his home Grand Prix.
So, as I said in words, he said going to be fueled by British fans. Into P11 goes, he's absolutely on a flyer. Meanwhile, up front, Stachulec still holding to the lead after two with Perezne, holding on in P2 as well with Leipzig. In 3, could we see the pistols falling this on? No, we may see it in laps. They come towards the left and in towards the right. Perezne breathing down the Stachulec. Paradzic breathing down the Perezne. Ozyildirim up for the Grand Prix 25.324. He comes towards turn 1 once again. Paradzic 1.5 behind Perezne. Now he's really in fine form. Try and get this done. Norbert Jakob on the mediums, 8.25, been doing well. Primož Miklavčič is in already. Soft compound tires, and another one is at the end of lap 2. It's Primož Miklavčič. There's yellow flags for and that. Samuel Bean going once again, having an awful Grand Prix so far as come flying in towards Brooklands. It's Stachulec from Perezne, from the Tomek Paradzic, with Ulas and Zildjian having a little bit of a look on Paradzic, but it is as they were as they enter the second 2 of lap 3.
Yeah, they certainly do. Tomek Paradzic right in behind Perezne. The top 3 still nose to tail, heading around Stoke corner, or sorry, Copse corner, sorry, leading into Magaton Beckett, my bad, as they make their way in towards the snake section. Stachulec now leads 2/10 to 2.5 separating him and Beresnay. Tomek Primož peppering the rear of the McLaren, of course, the car which he usually dons for Veloce. And there you can see behind as well, Ulas and Ozyildirim in behind as well as they make their way in towards Stowe. A little nudge in the back from Beresnay, just letting Stachulec know that he is there. They make their way down now in towards what will be the next left, in through Vale, very shortly in through towards the club corner at turn 18, and now down the Lewis Hamilton straight. Zsolt has got ahead of Akinci, who's boxed now, so is Piotr. So already cars boxing, Samuel Bean as well. So this could be the start of the pit stop phase. We said around lap 3 and 4, so now we will see no doubt the medium tyres being donned by those who are coming into the pits, but certainly Stachulec has got to make a play here. Beresnay is hot on his heels. DRS will open up now for Danny Beresnay as he does so. Will he opt to do it before the pit stop? That would be the sensible move. Here comes Beresnay down the inside, takes the lead of the race here in lap 4, and the McLaren on top with 2.5 tenths to spare.
Beresnay up top then, and the Stachulec just let him go. He just wants to wait in time just to get the pit stops going, and does forfeit the lead to Dan Beresnay, but it is Primož and some pressure to Ozyildirim behind. He is trying to push on Stachulec as well as he all comes through maggots, and look how close Beresnay. Stachulec practically pushing Beresnay through and Beckett. Here's Primož with the DRS as well. Stachulec with the DRS. Beresnay, does he left or right? Gonna choose the right side. Beresnay doesn't defend on the inside at club. Stachulec retakes the lead on 4. Do they decide to go into the pit lane this time? No, they don't. Beresnay stays out. Primož stays in. Ozyildirim stays out now. So they are leaving it quite maybe I suspected as well. Van Pukki and Edu Martin coming to the lane. Edu Martin with a 5-second penalty to boost speeding in the pit, but it is be a little while longer. They're going to stay, and as I thought, maybe the case as the pit lane is quite long here, so to try and get the gap needed as they are staying out at start of lap 5.
Yeah, it's Stachulec in front leading. 0.3 of a second is around the gap to Beresnay. Will look to maybe go again here. He will open DRS and he will go alongside the Ferrari, leading down now towards the next left at Brooklands. It's Beresnay. Beresnay at Brooklands. He now leads the way. 0.2 of a second. The gap between him and Stachulec. There you can see now Primož up against him with Ulas Ozyildirim, who throws it up the inside. But Ozyildirim's got a friend. It's Szabó-Kónyi round the outside now as they make their way down the national pit straight in towards Cops. It's still Ozyildirim who holds on to P4, and an absolutely epic moment as they now make their way through maggots and Beckett again. Primož having a very quiet race so far, just waiting patiently for any mistake by the front two. But Beresnay, without a doubt, holding on to that lead at this moment in time. But here comes Stachulec. Will he open up the door again? Leading it towards Stowe. It is Stachulec. They swap for the lead again. It is relentless here in the first few laps.
Absolute Stachulec just diving in. It's very, very to pit. The end of lap 5. A little later, as we thought, Szabó-Kónyi takes P2, Kedon, Lutt, a McLaren podium, a double McLaren podium in P3, doing very, very well, but under pressure to Zsolt Bodas towards turn 1. Kedon, Lutt a little bit quicker than Szabó-Kónyi here as they get very close up into turn 1 towards the right and the left. Beresnay with 1.1 second gap now. Stachulec comes out in about P7 around that. We will probably assume this Van Pukki about 25 seconds down on the rest of the field. But Kedon not really putting the pressure on Szabó-Kónyi, but also Zsolt putting the pressure on Lutt. As it's Van Pukki with us up at the Grand Prix 27.057 as Kristóf his business is well alongside Willie Welch, who's up a very, very good Prix as well, but 20 seconds with him and Stachulec. It's about 25 seconds what he needs. So here's Beresnay very, very wide, out of having a little bit of correction out of his corner and losing about 2 to Szabó-Kónyi there. So he's starting to fade on Beresnay's car. Maybe time for overcut.
Yeah, Berezney now making his way down the hanger straight, and you would have thought he might look to box now just to cover off any attempt from Stachulec, and it will give him lap younger tyres. We will take a look now. Does he opt to pit? He certainly does. In comes Danny Berezney, then Szabó-Kónyi in as well. No surprises. Kedon Lutt stays out. You feel he has to because he can't afford to double stack. The big question is, what's this going to do to the gap? Where is Stachulec? You can see him now making his way down the hanger straight. He might have left himself too much to do here, Joshua. He might have left himself too much to do. This is going to be so tight when they leave the pit lane. You can see the gap now starting to come down between him and Danny Berezney as they make their way through now. Berezney, where is he? Still in the pit lane. Will he have enough time to get out? Has he moved yet? They're leaving as we speak. We're going to watch it now. Nothing separates them as they make their way towards the uphill incline. Does Stachulec beat him to it as they come out now? He certainly does. The early box worked, and Paradzic is also ahead of Berezney. A crucial effort by Paradzic.
Undercut working out beautifully. Stachulec and Paradzic there, and Stachulec lead, but Tomek Paradzic now in that P2 beautifully works. The Ferrari and the Alpine team, and now Berezney has a lot to do. He has to now try and overtake 2 cars instead of 1, but it's hunted down Ulas and Ozyildirim alongside his fan Piotr, who is on fresh set of tyre pit from the race on new mediums, so it's definitely going to be interesting from his points as Kristóf. Job done on Kedon going into Club, and I assume will probably be boxing into this lap 27 seconds. If gains on Stachulec, it's going to be close between these two actually, as actually pushes stuff in there. They make a little bit of contact. Hopefully there's no wing damage on the McLaren of Kedon Lutt there, but a little bit of a push in the pit lane for Kedon Lutt and Stachulec out of corners. There goes Paradzic there, and the job done out of Chapel, and Paradzic maintains that lead here in Britain.
Yeah, Tomek Paradzic now in the net lead of the race. P3, can he add another win to his, well, certainly his inventory, because he's already won at Austria here tonight. He could win here in the UK as well at this British Grand Prix, and he does take the absolute lead of the race, given that Kristóf Szelle has pitted. And as they make their way in towards the next right-hander now, with Stachulec right in behind him here, Berezney's got his own fight on, because Ulas Ozyildirim is really starting to pepper the rear of that McLaren. But will Berezney maybe let loose here on Stachulec? He needs to get closer. The gap is closer between Berezney and Stachulec than it is between Stachulec and Paradzic, so Stachulec has got a real job on his hands now. But Ozyildirim too, also in this fight. Istvan Pukki with a huge drive in P5 has managed to move himself up the field with Kristóf Szelle right in behind as well, as they now make their way down in towards the next right. A huge opportunity now potentially for Paradzic to do a double here tonight. The first driver in this championship to make that happen, that first achievement this season, as now we watch them come through Maggotts and Beckett. Certainly now Paradzic with a very healthy gap indeed out of Chapel Curve. 5.5 tenths of a second is the difference, and there you can see it behind as well. Danny Berezney trying to close the gap relentlessly on Stachulec. It's nose to tail pretty much right now. Incredible though for Paradzic, a huge IQ move to box when he did, utilise the undercut. He now leads this Grand Prix.
Fantastic message, as we said. Just riding on with Bode and Richie there, having a little bit of a contact, and which sent Richie into a spin, but a brilliant save there from the Mercedes, but does lose a position. The Bode, which maybe looked at stewarding, but definitely aggressive there from to try get his muscles up towards P7. He's got his teammate Szelle Kristóf in 6, on his Pukki in P5, looking really well there. The Haas drive we were talking about, and to have a little bit of a bounce back from these last rounds, and definitely do so. Hunting down in P5, which is hunting down P4 versus Ozyildirim in P4 with Danny Berezney in P, Stachulec in P2. The biggest gap of all, half a second, is Tomek Paradzic with that big IQ move, as you said, to get the lead. He did pick when he needed a couple of minutes earlier than the rest of the field, and he gets it done, and currently leading this British Grand Prix with only 4 laps to go. It's absolutely thrown by here in Britain, and Tomek Paradzic looking to do the double here in Britain. One in Austria, he may win here in Silverstone, and he's 2 turns up on his personal best.
Yeah, Berezny starting to get closer to Stachulec as well. Stachulec forced to try and just hug on the rear there of Primož just to try and fend off the approach from Berezny, who might have no choice but to go for it here. No, he's going to lay off just a little bit, doesn't want to try and get drawn into a fight. And I can see him compromise any chance of maybe winning this race right now. Lap 9 of 13 into lap 10 now. We go heading around towards turn 1. Stachulec in second, Berezny in third. You can see the difference is made. The Lutt literally boxed a lap later than Danny Berezny. It's now sent him to the back of the grid. Remember, he was up in the top end fighting with those on the top order, but now it's made him literally fall all the way down the field, and it's really left him in a bit of a sticky wicket. But now a huge chance now for Danny Berezny potentially, because Piotr Stachulec sort of falling off the rear now of Tomek Primož. Huge opportunity for the McLaren, maybe heading through the hangar straight as they come through the next right now. Certainly Primož nursing a healthy advantage with Stachulec in behind. It's got to be uncomfortable with Berezny right behind him on his tail.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think just dropping in pace a little bit, but look how much Berezny is closing in on him. He's absolutely pushing that car to the max, and he had a maximum amount of press going in towards Cox there, but just using it to try and stay in front of Ozyildirim there. That's back all the way through. Here comes Berezny, again it's crucial, gets his job done to try and battle Primož unless he wants to get this job done, and I think he's going to hold tight as it is Stachulec. That is his main point through in that race here, to just try and stay with Primož, just try and get through, but through second 1 and 2, it's not working out. As you can see, they're losing 2 tenths. Final couple of corners, not working out for it in this. The track is only down the back straight of the hang straight. He's really able to try and make the move done, but going to have to make the move done into that on lap 11 of 13. It is crucial for Stachulec, Berezny, Ozyildirim, even Istvan Puk as well, who's on the fresher soft tires and the faster tires to try and fight through this grid, but just not having the pace so far. But it is crucial now for Berezny, who's really caught to Stachulec. He wants to get this job done, going in to into the left-hander there, and cannot get it done, and remains behind Stachulec, wound through the long right hand and in towards Cops. Berezny really hunting down Ferrari. Stachulec is come towards Cops corner again, just going to nose it through the right handers behind Stachulec. Stachulec still behind Primož with only 2 laps to go.
Yeah, certainly Primož is still in front, but the gap is nowhere near as healthy as it was before. But Stachulec has got a problem because Berezny is hot on his tail with Ozyildirim not far behind either. We've got a group of 4 cars, very similar to what we had at Austria now. And Berezny smells blood as they now make their way in towards what will be Stowe corner. He squeezes down the inside of Stachulec, wheel to wheel, side by side. You can see them off the track. Stachulec still holding on as they come through Vale corner. And as you can see from the rear wing, that Ferrari starting to become more and more evident as Berezny wrestles his way through, tries to squeeze that Ferrari. Ferrari and McLaren once again dueling as they have done for so many years into turn 1. Side by side they remain in through the first sector. Can Berezny fall? Oh no! Huge incident, and Stachulec has retired. Stachulec has retired, and that has given the position of Istvan Puk second place. Ozyildirim's fallen down to P3. Immense drama here, Joshua.
Absolutely incredible scene. Primož surely he's going to win this race, but the battle for P2 is still on between Puk, Ozyildirim, Szelle, Kristóf and Baena and even Jeffrey Ritchie. It's absolutely all happens as these two are battling away. The Tomek Primož string was just getting a little bit wider and wider, but it was about to happen. That Berezny and Stachulec going side by side between too many corners. It didn't work on for Stachulec. He will end up with 0 points. So will Berezny, still racing in this race. But an unfortunate day for McLaren, which was looking so good. It's ended up with a collision between Berezny and Stachulec with 2 laps to go. Primož looking likely to win this Grand Prix now and take a double here in FES.
It's been a real sobering day for Stachulec. He got P4 in our first race at Austria after being usurped by Ulas Ozyildirim, who's got on for a second P3 finish. If he can keep this up, we got 1 more lap to go. After this one, Primož with a very healthy lead, 1.5 seconds, and what this means is that he's broken DRS DRS, so he may as well just keep the car under complete control. He doesn't have a lot to worry about, no contenders right now, and if anything he's pulling away. Istvan Pukki in second place with Ulas Ozyildirim, who could yet find his way up into second place himself, on for a second podium, but Kristóf Szelle, crucially enough, is in the fight, and he's also chasing a podium as they now make their way down through towards the next left, this time at Brooklands. Who's got this second place here, Josh? Who do you think?
And Chris can definitely hunt this down, but it's Pukki on the better tyres so far for that team, looking really, really decent. Try and pick up this, do his first podium of the season. Go here. He's had an absolutely fantastic race to hold on when it happened between Berezny and Stachulec, who both tie now on the business. Ozyildirim smells blood, as you said, as they come towards the straight once again. DRS in for the Williams, who made a little bit of a mistake as Vispanki immediately trying to defend the river, weaving going on. Here comes Ozyildirim. This is his to try and get P2 round the side. Going Turkish man on Istvan Pukki. They're still going by side. Ozyildirim is through, and it is going to be Ozyildirim in P2. He tries to run outside of Pukki. They're still bustling away, but it is going to be Tomek Primož winning Britain. But it's going to be Ulas Ozyildirim in P2. And Kristóf in P4, almost getting it on the line, but Istvan Pukki just holding on to get his first podium of the season with Kristóf in P4. And what an absolutely fantastic end to the British Grand Prix. Primož gets the double.
Tomek Primož proving that it can be done. 2 wins tonight for the Alpine driver. It is going to be double delight for certainly Tomek Primož. What a huge effort here tonight, and that is going to make a huge, well, certainly provide a huge dent to the Drivers' Championship. I have to say, leading in towards Event 3, what a night if you are Tomek Primož right now. You can celebrate in style. What a race he certainly performed at Austria. He did exactly the same here tonight. Incredible, incredible effort, and certainly he was not on pole for the start of this one, but yet still managed to pull it out the bag. Let's take a look at those final results, folks, because it was a thrilling affair. Ulas Ozyildirim also gets his second podium in the, well, certainly tonight, and continues his excellent run as well. He's been right at the top, certainly challenging everybody week on week. We've also got Istvan Pukki as well, who turned around what looked to be another dull day for Haas. Also got fastest lap as well, and managed to secure that excellent result to land P3 as well, his first podium of the championship. Kristóf Szelle in 4th, with Zsolt and Boda in 5th, Jeffrey Ritchie in 6th, with Milan Meyer in 7th, Louis Welch 8th. But what a performance, certainly, to say the least. And I'm pleased to say as well that we have got some interviews here tonight. We've got Steve with us as well. Steve, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. It was a great event for me.
Just talk us through it. It was an absolutely magnificent run, certainly in Britain. Just talk us through your race, because you were right in the thick of the fight towards the end.
I had a fairly good start and managed to gain 1 position, and it meant that I was the first runner on the medium compounds, and I was planning to go to the pits in lap 3, but somehow I changed my mind and changed it to lap 4. I think it was a decent decision, because still managed to get the undercuts on like 5 drivers or so. I don't know how many actually, but it was net P5 at the moment, I guess, and I was just saving some ERS and waiting for the guys doing something ahead, and the result was what I expected. Some collision happened in front of me, and patience this time just paid off, I guess.
Well, I mean, Istvan, it was a huge effort, because you were nowhere near the front, and like you say, you pulled off that magnificent undercut, which certainly worked, to say the least. And you know, how much did that make the difference to your race? Because like you say, you gained so many places, and at the same time you capitalized on that incredible incident between Dani Berezny and Piotr Stachulec. From your side, what was that incident all about? Because we just missed it on our broadcast cameras. We went behind the barriers. What is your take on the incident between Berezny and Stachulec?
They were going side by side into turn 1 and turn 2, and the rear tires just overheated, I think, for both drivers, and some of them just slided into the other, and they both gone off the track. So that's what I saw.
Well,
I don't think it was anything on purpose.
nothing malicious, that's for sure. But what does this mean for you now, Istvan? What's the plan? How do you see the championship going for you? Can you take it any further than what you already have done? You've certainly been showing us what you can do, certainly on a strategy sense. What's your feeling leading up to the next 3 events?
I would be pleased with strong points again, and like 2 top 5 finishes would be nice for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I certainly wouldn't write you off for it. Congratulations on another fabulous race, a great podium as well, and we wish you all the very best in event 3.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we have the man of the moment, certainly the man who has dazzled many on countless occasions, and he's done it again. He has spearheaded challenges. He is now doing the same here tonight in his visit to FuturEsportS FES League 3 as well. Tomek Primož joins us here tonight after an excellent double victory. Tomek, what a night for you. You must be absolutely thrilled. After a grandiose effort at Austria, you follow it up with another victory at Silverstone. Just talk us through it, mate. You must be delighted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I happen to be available for this event, obviously as I'm a reserve, and decided to give it a go because obviously in 2 days' time I'll be racing the exact same format in F1 Esports Challengers where it all matters. So, you know, it was a no-brainer to have a go at this event, and honestly, it's gone great. I mean, I was very happy with my qualifying in Austria. Sam Welch did a great lap, and full shout out to him for that, because the 2.8 is really quick. I can tell you that much. And then in the race, I just made sure to be the smartest man out there. Austria being a track where it's very little about your pace. You know, on this level, the differences in pace aren't big enough to break that DRS gap or whatever. So it's always gonna come down to the last lap, and I decided to play it smart. I let Samuel go just before the detection zone, and then made that move into the hairpin. And with the DRS on another straight, I was able to secure the position. And I'm quite proud of that move actually, because there were some big brain moments there. And then, yeah, Silverstone, solid lap in quali, only P3, so definitely something to work on for Thursday, to polish up on that one-shot qualifying performances. And then in the race, yeah, again, just being the smartest man out there, picking my moments to go for the moves, and in the end, capitalizing on a little incident behind me. So, yeah, I'm very happy with my race management. There is some things with my pace and my speed that have to be addressed before Thursday, but yeah, overall, really happy.
Yeah, I mean, it has to fill you with a lot of confidence. And I did see a tweet from yourself the other day referring to your love of Silverstone. And I think we obviously saw that in real-time effect today, because I have to say you were absolutely magnificent. I think your starts have definitely improved as well. I noticed in Austria you got the jump off the line ahead of Samuel Bean to lead in towards turn 1. Have you been putting a lot of practice emphasis on race starts and getting off the line quickly?
I mean, I have installed this little app on my phone where you like click when the lights go out, but no, I think it's just yeah, I got my starts down. It's really not about practice. It's just, you know, under pressure, your reaction times are slower, all that. You're gonna be a bit more shaky with the throttle, and if you can control that well under pressure, you're gonna have great starts. And yeah, it definitely helped today. But as I said before, for example, in Austria, sure, I got ahead of Samuel, but in the long term, it's not really giving me much, because yeah, it's a DRS strain. So being P1 or P2 is pretty much the same. But yeah, happy with my performances off the line.
Yeah, it doesn't help unless you're at Monaco, I suppose. But
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. But no, incredible effort. I mean, obviously now this is a great building block. You've got 2 wins today. Obviously, that's going to do lots to your championship standings hopes. Leading forward, obviously, to the next series of events, and obviously with what you're doing in challenges, does the future look positive for Tomek Primož?
I surely hope it does. Yeah, things are looking great, but now it's about performing in the important thing, being challenges. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing how you get on. Certainly, we will support you all the way for that. So I want to say a massive congratulations for 2 excellent wins tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you here again for event 3, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tomek. Thank you ever so much. So Joshua, another magnificent, night of racing. Certainly your very first night in this series, and we go ahead now towards the next races on our calendar, which you can now see. We're off to Zandvoort and Spa, everybody. But just to review, Tomek Primož sounds like a man with a plan. He knows what he's doing, and he's installing apps for the purpose of practicing race starts, and then at the same time looking at his pace. He's able to critique his own performance to the very slim details. Now, that says a lot about the driver, doesn't it? He's got to be a star for the future.
Absolutely, and he's got 2 brilliant teams behind him. He's got McLaren Shadow behind him in the academy. He's got Veloce behind him, so he has the people behind to just try and point him in that correct position. He's got nothing wrong with his pace, so his pace will get him very, very far. And obviously he's taken the extreme measures to try and get the best out of everything, obviously installing apps for his phone to just try and get those maximum reaction times up to scratch. So it's definitely interesting in the life of an F1 esports driver to just see where the gains are. It's nothing just like picking up a game and just going from there. It's definitely a real craft. To see these guys at the top of the game. It's an absolute pleasure to see these guys at the top of their game in tonight, and definitely hopefully can try and push this back for challenges on Thursday nights for these PC guys. A lot of them race in them, so best of luck to them, and definitely some good practice as Tomek said tonight for this race. The same format, same races, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they can do on the biggest stage in esports on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what they're all in it to do. They want to be successful at the highest level, and Tomek certainly looks to be a man on a mission, and I would not write him off for a trip to challenges on Thursday night. We'll certainly look to see how he gets on. Obviously looking forward, we've got plenty to look forward to where it comes through, certainly the FES League here at FuturEsports, and I can see a lot of you were getting involved in the live chat as well. Big, massive thank you to everybody there at home who tuned in as well, and please make sure, if you haven't done so already, please slam a follow onto the Twitch account, and also subscribe to the YouTube account as well. It's so good to see you all with us and bringing us certainly bringing yourselves to watching these events. It is absolutely sensational. Josh, just to get your vibes, obviously this being your first event, what were your thoughts on today's action? Are you looking forward to the rest of the championship?
Absolutely, these races have been absolutely fantastic with a lot of big names up there. Obviously it was my first night in PC. It's definitely a difference to the Xbox side of things, but it was an absolutely fantastic race. I cannot wait for 2 weeks time where we head over to Netherlands, I believe it is, and Belgium. So it is going to be an absolutely fantastic night. 2 fantastic races, and we get ready to go there. But it's been an absolutely fantastic race. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined with you tonight to commentate over this. So thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and cannot wait for the next few races to come.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, folks, if you want to stay up to date with all the goings on, you can check out FuturEsports on Twitter. Just literally hit the tag at FuturEsports and you will find it. And make sure you leave them a follow on social media. You can also find me on social media as well. My Twitter tag is down below at GeorgeMorganTV. So please make sure you smash a follow on that as well. And I tell you what, why not check out Josh Davis as well at PSR_Jish. That is where you can find him. But you'll be seeing us in 2 weeks' time, that's for sure, where we head to Zandvoort and also Spa-Francorchamps for Event 3. It was Tomek Primož on this occasion who did the double. Can he do the same leading in 2 weeks' time? We'll soon see. We'll see you then, folks. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.